Hello, folks. This is Joe from iGeeksy, and I'm here at JAFAX with Caitlin Glass.
Hi, guys.
Caitlin, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Welcome to Grand Rapids.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know, Caitlin Glass is a actress, singer, ADR scriptwriter, ADR director with Crunchyroll, and a few other things. So, welcome. She also plays Mina Ashido from My Hero Academia, Winry Rockbell from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and a whole slew of shows. So, one of the characters that I didn't mention in the intro is something that you play from a show that I really like. You're part of the great duo of Isaac and Miria from Bakano.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say thank you for that. I really enjoyed that show from back in the day. I still have like the now out of print DVD box set and whatnot. And since shows are coming back that were like out of commission for a while, I'm still hoping that that one will return, because if Bastard, which was made about 30 years ago, is coming back at the end of this month in June, there's still hope that Bakano can come back.
Who knows?
But I want to send a big thanks to you, because while I was doing research on you, I was introduced to a show called Horimiya. And I was really interested to find out that you were the casting director and the director for that, and you chose to use BIPOC or Black, Indigenous, or people of color representation for your casting choices. So why did you decide to go down that route?
Well, I've always been a big proponent of representation in casting, period. But it just seemed like the right time, and I felt like somebody needed to make a statement in that regard. I'm pretty active on social media, even if you don't see me replying or talking. I'm reading a lot, and I saw that there was a need for folks to recognize that regardless of an actor's skin color, they can lead a story. They can tell a story. And I already knew this, of course, and it's one thing to sprinkle in actors of color here and there, but I'm like, what if the entire show was people of color? Wouldn't folks be surprised? And then it turned out Horimiya was a crazy success. Folks were really into it. It was a wonderful story. But I think the actors brought it to life in a fantastic way. So I also like to challenge myself with every show that I'm casting, because otherwise my job can get a little bit monotonous. Like every 3 months, 2 new shows, here are some auditions, cast, and here we go. So I challenge myself in different ways every season personally to try to do different things. And that season, that's what I wanted to do. My assistant director at the time, Sean Gann, was also very much behind that. He's part of a theater company in Dallas that focuses on underrepresented talent, so he was all for it. So,
No, it was pretty cool, and I was glad to see that Zeno Robinson was being featured in more stuff too. So, the only show that I can think of off the top of my head was a show from Netflix that had pretty much a BIPOC casting, which was Cannon Busters. I don't know if you've seen that. It's only made 1 season, but I'm hoping that there will be more for down the road, because like it's important to me when I see that, because I'm like, wow, I actually feel like I'm being included in this sort of stuff. So thank you for your part for like Horimiya and whatnot.
you're welcome.
So when I was doing my research on you, I found out that you liked P.A Works. Why is that one of your favorite studios?
I love the stories that P.A Works tells. I love their ability to portray humanity and some of the more mundane aspects of life. I love slice of life. It's my favorite genre of anime, and I think P.A Works are just excellent at telling those stories. I love the groups of people that they like to represent. The way they create an ensemble of cast members is just really fun. Their animation is beautiful to look at. I just love their stories.
Nice. I know that you're a big fan of Shakespeare. Do you have any particular favorite adaptations of Shakespeare's work that's not like on Broadway, like in movies or shows?
No, I'm not. I don't. Not off the top of my head. I can't think of like that is my favorite adapted, film. I don't think I really have a favorite. No. The old Much Ado About Nothing with Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson, Denzel Washington. It's from the 90s. That's a great one. But yeah, I'm not so sure I have a favorite. I just like Shakespeare.
Fair enough. But so you brought up the 90s. So what were your thoughts on Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet?
That was pretty iconic, very iconic experience to be that age. And we were all obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio, and that's probably why, because of that movie. Yeah, I think it's a neat adaptation. In general, I don't particularly care for Shakespeare stories forced into particular time periods where they may not quote unquote belong, but his words are just meant to be kind of ageless. So I'll buy it in any time period if it just happens to exist there. I don't know how to express that more clearly, but sometimes people bend over backwards to make a concept work with Shakespeare's plays, and I don't appreciate that.
So you don't feel that that was the case for Romeo and Juliet by Baz Luhrmann?
I don't think I have a strong enough opinion. I think it was fine. It was cool. It was iconic. That's the first word that comes to mind when I think of that
I did
movie.
like the soundtrack back in the day. The only thing that can stick in my head was Garbage's "I Will Die for You" song.
Yeah.
So you're a big fan of Julie Andrews.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Favorite movies by her?
Well, growing up, of course, it was always Mary Poppins. I love that movie. She was wonderful in it. And I mean, ever since I've seen her in lots of things, but it's hard to beat like the nostalgic classic. Also, The Sound of Music was a big deal growing up. I think I have that thing memorized. So,
Nice. Have you met her yet?
oh, no.
What would you say to her?
Oh, gosh. It would just be an honor to meet her. I would just tell her that she's lovely and inspirational and thank her for her years of being dedicated to her craft and for being the professional that she is.
All right. I would like to learn something about you from like the music point of view. From what I understand, you like collecting vinyl records. Do you have any cherished records in your collection?
I can't say that I do. You're probably like, what kind of collector are you?
No, I'm not a collector. Like, I don't even have any vinyl records and stuff, but I like have albums that are very sacred to me and stuff.
Yeah, vinyl's just a kind of a fun thing to collect. My husband and I will get albums that we love. We'll also get them on vinyl, like new things that come out if we really like it. We'll want more than the download, so we'll get vinyl for it. I have a large collection of Disneyland records. So Disney's old record label was actually called Disneyland Records. So all of the old Disney soundtracks on vinyl, you can find them in record stores. They're pretty much everywhere. They're all from the 60s, 70s, 80s. We have a large collection of those that are really fun.
And I found out that you're a big fan of BTS.
Yeah, for sure.
What is it about BTS that you like?
I think they're all extremely talented, and they are dedicated to their craft. They're professional. They're just really neat. I was resistant to liking BTS, not because I don't like to like the thing that everybody else does. I just felt like I was too busy to get into yet another thing. I didn't think that I would care for their music because I wasn't really into boy bands growing up, like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all that. I was kind of like, whatever. So I didn't think that I would care about BTS, but then they just kind of snuck in because they're everywhere now. And I think that they're really fun and they're excellent at what they do. They all have amazing voices, and the way the 7 of them work together, complement one another, the way they sound, there's just a lot to like.
So if someone was like new to like the BTS camp, are there any particular songs that you would suggest for them to check out?
I think the best thing would be like go to Spotify or Apple Music and get like an essentials playlist that's already built and listen through it. Their newest album that they just put out is called Proof, and it is like a compilation of songs that they chose from their career plus about 3 new ones. So they could start there, and you get to kind of listen through the best of their discography, so to speak, and then you can go back and start listening through album by album and watch all the music videos and join in on the fun.
Nice. So as we're wrapping up this interview, we have my final 3 questions. What's new that you would like to promote that you're allowed to promote?
Oh, let's see. I'm currently directing a show called Talked Opus Destiny. It was from the fall of 2021. We're finally getting around to dubbing it now, and it is about classical music. and the power of music and how it brings hope. And I think that we all need that. So I highly recommend it. Animated by Mappa and Madhouse. Beautiful show. Please watch. Let's see. In the last year, I got to work on some pretty great anime, including Ranking of Kings, which if you haven't seen that, another one that I super recommend. It's 2 seasons long, so you can really get into it. It's about 24, 26 episodes. It's like a fairy tale adventure kind of epic story. So, and the character design and just the whole design of the show looks different than any modern day anime, animated by Wit Studio. So really remarkable animation there.
Okay. If people wanted to find you and follow you online, where could they go?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Caitlin's Voice.
All right. Final question. What would be your message to your fans throughout the years?
Thank you guys so much for supporting me in all of this. It's wild to think that this is my career and that this is my life, and that is due in large part to all of you being so kind and supportive and riding the wave of anime and how it's all changed, the way that it is, comes to you. Thank you for subscribing to Funimation, now Crunchyroll. Thank you for legitimizing the industry in this country. Thank you for not being pirates. Without your financial support, we wouldn't be able to give back to the Japanese community, the folks that make this anime in the first place, so that I can continue to have this job. So thank you.
All right. Caitlin, thank you for granting this interview.
Yeah.
Well, folks, this is Joe from My Geek Scene with Caitlin Glass at JAFAX. Take it easy.